You tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need. We give you outspoken thoughts about all the headlines. We talk baseball, football, hockey, and more. No matter the topic, we cover it. Get ready for the show and keep it outspoken. Keep it outspoken. We keep it outspoken only on the Sportscast. Tune into the Sportscast with Brian, Craig, and Jeff. Give you all the sports news you need.
Hey guys, welcome in to the Outspoken Network Sportscast edition here. You got all three of us here this evening. It's fantastic to have you back on, Jeff.
Good to be back.
Good to be back. It is. I was looking forward to this episode tonight after a crazy work week. And Craig, brother man, how are you doing?
Howdy.
All right, guys, we're going to jump into it. We're going to talk about, we got the NBA playoffs. We're going to talk a deep dive into that today. We're going to give you NHL update, and we'll talk about a sad passing of a legend in the NFL right after this. Oh, beautiful. For you guys that aren't watching, we have a new intro video that Jeff put together, Jeff, and it's freaking awesome. Love it. So thanks for that. We are getting ready to go to a different kind of streaming platform in the next couple of weeks and change things up a little bit, but we're looking forward to that as well. But new intro video, so that's just awesome. The NBA playoffs have been pretty entertaining this year, to say the least. The ratings have gone up this year in the NBA playoffs, and we've had some upsets. We've had some 7-game series. We've had it all, it seems like. And one of the 7-game series that we just witnessed was Jason Tatum dropping 50 points. Me and Craig talked about this last week about who was going to win in Game 7. In the Garden, it's hard to win in the Garden, especially Game 7. Tatum drops 50 points, dominates the game as they smoke the 76ers, 112-88 in a Game 7. Doc Rivers pulls the Doc Rivers, chokes it up again. He's like the worst Game 7 coach. He's like, what, 0-7?
7 times he's blown 3-1 or 3-2.
Absolutely terrible when it counts. I mean, regular season head coach, he's great. I mean, but for some reason, the playoffs, it doesn't come together. And what was interesting to me was.
So wait, did he when he was with the Lakers, or not the Lakers, when he was with the Celtics and he beat the Lakers? Was that in games? Did it go to 7 games or 6?
Well,
he's got the one, but
Sure.
that's why I was
But in 7 times he's blown
Straight.
either 3-1 or 3-2. He's been up, and his team has lost.
That's crazy.
That's it. When you have that scenario, it's only like a 20-something% chance, and like the 20% is everybody that played Doc Rivers.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, we talked about legacy. Because going this game, legacy of Joel Embiid, he came off the MVP season. 76ers have never kind of put it together. They've had that talent. And then you look at the legacy of Tatum. I mean, a lot of people don't consider him a superstar. He's kind of hit or miss some games. They went to the championship. They didn't get it done. And Tatum just came out and put it on his back, dropped 50 points. But Joel Embiid, after the game, was throwing the teammates under the bus left and right, not having enough help. He's talking like he scored 30 points or so. He only put up 15. Game 7.
9 of 28.
He put up 15 points.
9 of 28.
Harden didn't show up because he doesn't ever show up.
He was regular James Harden.
Regular James Harden, yeah. He showed up one game in this series, and I don't know. It's to me, this hit Embiid's legacy because you come off a season where you're the MVP, most valuable player, and in Game 7 you drop 15 points, and then you start calling out your teammates. I don't know. To me, that's not a very good look, in my opinion, at all. So I don't know what you guys have any input on that, or the whole 76ers and trust the process and
it kind of reminds me of Kyrie a little, well, a lot. He likes to kind of
pack that bus up.
He likes to kind of just poke at people and kind of put the blame on others, I guess. And so it just that's kind of weird. Is this something that's been common with him? Has he done this before? Or is this something that's just kind of like out of the blue?
Embiid is normally not playing in that situation. Embiid's normally hurt by Game 6 or 7. Yeah. The normal guy that goes in the tank and goes into Casper mode is James Harden. As the series goes on, Harden just goes away. It happened in Oklahoma City. It happened in Houston. It happened in Philadelphia. It happens again now. Yeah, every situation in a big game, Harden is nowhere to be found. Yeah. That's his legacy. Now, Embiid, he just normally is hurt. He normally doesn't play. He's not been in that situation too many times. But to be the MVP and don't have a good game, and then to go into the locker room and throw everybody under the bus that it was, I'm the only one that showed up. I can't do it alone. Well, you didn't even do what alone? You scored nothing. You guys scored 10 points in the third quarter of Game 6 and 13 points in the fourth quarter of Game 7. Like, there's not an NBA team that does that.
Yeah.
Our friend Kat is back. Kat, thanks for coming back. I missed you. She says, I don't care for the NBA, but I think they're all spoiled little bees.
Yes.
Well, I will tell you what, Kat, the NBA is definitely soft compared to what it used to be. Growing up in the 90s. I felt like I missed the greatest era of basketball we'll ever see, and it won't be that way ever again with Jordan and the Pistons and the Celtics and the Showtime Lakers and all that stuff.
That's what I grew up with.
Yeah, I missed it. I missed the Jordan era of greatness. So I will agree with you there, Kat. And speaking of little bees, LeBron James is down 2 games to nothing. Definitely down 2 games to nothing. Yeah, definitely isn't the same as it used to be, Kat says. Definitely not. I wish it was. I wish it was. The Lakers, they do dominate Game 7 against Golden State. And look, let's be all serious. We pretty much on the show don't like LeBron. I know me and Craig don't. I don't think Jeff really cares for him either. But kudos to them. They went in. They beat Golden State. They showed up Game 7. They dominated Game 7. This is a team going into the playoffs that I said before. When healthy, when they put their mind to it, they could be a scary basketball team. And they are. They went on. They dominated Golden State. I picked Golden State to win this series. They dominated Golden State pretty much. They get here to Denver, and Denver's the strongest team right now in the NBA. I mean, they had the Joker. He scored a 30-point triple-double Game 1. They beat the Lakers in Game 1. And the thing with the Nuggets is they've had the talent there for a couple years. They've just been hurt. Murray's missed the playoffs last year. Joker got hurt the year before. They've missed the injury bug hits them at the worst of moments. And this year it hasn't been that way. Joker was fighting for the MVP with Embiid. Murray's been stepping up. Game 2, Murray dropped 37 points. So they work really well together. Joker doesn't have to score 30 every night because he's got a guy there next to him that can. And their bench is extremely probably the best depth bench in the league. They have a lot of depth. So when they put those second or third string guys in, or what do you want to call it, they're playing really well, and they're hard to match up with. The first 2 games of the series, 40 points from Anthony Davis wasn't enough in game 1. Then they come out, he scored 20, and LeBron James is putting about 20 points. That's just not enough when you have Murray dropping 37, Joker dropping 34-point triple-double with 22 rebounds in game 1. So down 2-0 to a team like this, I don't think the Lakers can climb back out. I just don't see it, but you also have LeBron James just Hail Marying threes, and it's like they're not going in there.
Hit the water out of the boat.
It was just like, I think he's trying to play a game that I don't know if he was really ever a big time threat from deep like that all the time. Occasionally, if he's by himself or whatever, it'll get him to drop one. But he's always in the paint kind of guy. Always has been. So it's just kind of, I'm just like, you're playing a game you're not there, and you're not going to be there. You're not that kind of player. So
he's not that anymore, right? And he used to be. And he used to be able to take a team on his back. His age is there, and look, he's
hurt his ankle again.
For his age, he's putting up good numbers. But I said this a couple years ago. This team runs through Anthony Davis. When he's healthy and he's playing great, this team runs through him. They should have won game 1. He dropped 40, but needs a little bit more from LeBron and his castmates there. And you don't see those 40-point games from Anthony Davis consistently.
No.
And I don't know why. I don't know if that's going to be injury reasons or, when he's healthy, he's good. But that's a big if. And he's been healthy this playoff run. But I just think it kind of ends here. I think Denver's the favorite to go on and win it all from here. But 2-0 hole is not going to be easy to climb out of if they don't get more production, consistent production out of LeBron. Like 20-point game, okay, that's a decent game. But in the playoffs, when you're facing Joker and Murray and this team, you both need to drop 30 points. I mean, it's going to be tough for anybody.
And a lot of people right now are like, it's going to be a sweep. I don't know about that. I think they're going to win a game. I just don't know.
Lakers haven't lost a home game yet.
Yeah, I think they're going to win a game, but I don't think they're going to win the series.
I think it goes 6.
I think it goes 6. Yeah, that sounds about right.
I can see Lakers taking the next 2 at home, and then the Nuggets just kind of shutting it down after that. But we'll see. It ought to be interesting. Definitely go. If
LeBron is hurt or gets hurt again, I mean, he fell down in the fourth quarter and grabbed his ankle and completely out of a whole play, which I think resulted in a turnover anyway. So, but still, it was just, I don't know if he gets hurt again or if he falls down the ankle awkwardly again, he's out. It's done.
Yeah, they can't lose LeBron or Anthony Davis, or it won't even be close. And
the other, I will give some credit to the. What's that dude's name? He's from like Japan or something. Dang, he put up like 17, 19, or 20 something, maybe 20 points or something like that off the bench for the Lakers. I can't think of his name. It was like,
there's a guy there named Austin Reeves. He's matching LeBron in points, like 23 points and stuff.
No, this guy is.
This guy's. He's
different.
Guy,
this guy. He was. I'm trying to think of his name. I'd have to look it up, but he was. Whoever watched the game is a guy that was like drafted out of Japan, but freaking good, really good. But I just gotta remember his name because it's something awkward,
Yeah. And
I don't want to butcher it. So
if LeBron was to get swept in the playoffs, that would look pretty bad on him for that legacy. Talking about legacies, but
and then the Butterfingers with a breakaway dunk that he completed.
Breakaway dunk.
Yeah, when he's missing dunks and layups, and he just keeps cranking up threes, and they're not going in, and he just still cranks them up. Like that's when you have to accept, hey, they're not going. He missed 17 straight threes, but he's still cranking them up.
Well, the weird part is are those set up threes for him, or is he just like, I'm gonna win this game?
Yeah, 100%. He's always that's been the MO. It's I'm the hero. I'm the deal. When it comes time, I'm throwing it up, no matter if I'm open or not. Well, you got 4 other guys out there that are meant to help you, and you're gonna live by them. You're gonna die by them. And last 2 games they died by him because he couldn't hit, nothing. And so, Anthony Davis, right now has stayed healthy for the rest of the playoffs. That's been a good thing. LeBron, Father Time, is undefeated, and he's 38, and he just can't do what he used to do. So he needs to accept that and let these other guys try to help him. When Austin Reeves is matching you in points and he's got the hot hand, give the ball to Austin Reeves. Get the ball down low to Davis and let him, do what he does rather than crank up a horrible double team 3 off your back foot falling away. There's no chance that's ever going to go in. And then after the game, be like, well, I just didn't play well. Well, no, you did. Your shot selection was horrible.
Yeah, and he's just not that guy. It's to take over the game and say, I'm going to win it right here, and I'm going, but that's he's old, but starting
old basketball years.
Definitely. I know we talked about a lot about legacy, or I have at least, but Boston goes off and they're up in game 1 against the Miami Heat and they lose. And if the Heat do win this series, Tatum's legacy about just taking down the MVP is going to go right out the window by not beating a injury-stricken Miami Heat. But if we're talking about coach of the playoff season, it's definitely Miami. This team's been injured. This team started off as an 8 seed. They took down the Bucks, number 1. They came in and they who they beat? The Knicks. They just beat the Knicks, and now they're looking to beat Boston. They beat them game 1. They came back. Jimmy Butler does what Jimmy Butler does in the playoffs, and just puts the team on his back. Scored 35 points the other night, and they get the job done. Another team that you did not want to face. They underachieved. The Miami Heat underachieved all season long. They were the 8th seed. They came in the playoffs on fire, and they're looking good. I don't think either of these 2 teams will beat the Nuggets when the Nuggets make it to the championship. But it's a good story right now for Miami if you're a Miami fan of being the 8th seed and climbing all the way back. I mean, I don't know when the last time an 8th seed made it to a championship, but and especially in basketball. You
got 2 play-in teams in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals. The Lakers were a play-in team, and Miami's a play-in team. They're both in the thing.
Were Lakers a play-in team?
They were, yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought they made it into the.
So you mean this year they were a playing team?
Yeah, I believe so. I'm almost positive.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
So these are the teams, just like in hockey, when you are the 8th seed, they're dangerous because they've been playing playoff sports for 2 weeks before everybody else. They've been playing win or die, win or go home games before everybody else. But a guy, the best in-game adjustment coach in basketball is Erik Spoelstra. You will not have something that when he sees something being done to his team, he will call a timeout, and that won't be what beats him. It may be somebody else or something else, but if one guy is in the paint or one guy is taking shots or he sees something going wrong and a defense adjustment that needs to be made, he stops the game, he goes over and makes this adjustment, and that, whatever's beating them at the time, doesn't continue to happen. It's the best in-game guy I could imagine.
I mean, I'd have to agree with Miami's coach and what Brian was talking about too. Is like I just think they possibly single-handedly got rid of the Bucks coach.
They did, yeah, 100%.
Which is crazy.
Absolutely ridiculous about that. All right, the Bucks coach. I talked about this a couple days ago. This is a great. Let me hold my thought on that. Mystery Sauce says, "Do you guys think Jimmy Butler is better than Tatum?" That is very interesting because Butler's been really good. Butler's known, his legacy is known for showing up in big games, known for showing up in playoffs. That's close because Tatum's a good player. Tatum is younger. Tatum. If you guys had to choose between the two to start a basketball team, Butler or Tatum, who are you taking? That's a tough question.
Tatum is more can put. Tatum's normally, but Tatum's good in the regular season. He's better than Butler in the regular season. But when you need a guy to take over a basketball game, there's nobody else I'd want than Jimmy Butler.
That's what I was going to say.
Buckets.
Yes, I mean he basically did an interview the other day, and they said, "Well, how do you feel about what everybody said about you guys not supposed to be here?" And he's like, "We love it. Keep talking because we're gonna make every one of you eat your words." He's like, "We know what's in a locker room. We know what we do, and I'm gonna continue to prove everybody wrong." Like Butler rolls an ankle, goes in and gets taped up, and comes back out and scores 40 the next night.
Yeah.
Like Tatum goes and drops 51 and then forgets to show up to game one. He forgot to get on the bus.
Butler's a dog, straight up dog. And Mystery Sauce says Butler is the type to rip Tatum's heart out and eat it in front of him. And it's absolutely true. I've got to go with. I would rather start with Butler. And put a good team around him. And he's got a great coach. They have a good team there. They're doing what they're doing with the injuries that they have and missing key. They're not just missing second string players. They're missing key players. Has been great. And if they get to the championship with what they've got, that's awesome. I think it ends there, but that's a good debate. Tatum is younger. Tatum, I think he's just too nice. I don't think he's got that dog in him. He doesn't show. I mean, he did drop 50 against Joel Embiid and the 76ers, but he doesn't do that on a consistent basis. And he didn't do it last year in the championship.
Yeah,
you're waiting for him to take over a game and make runs where he wins a championship, and he just hasn't done that yet. And that's why I've always said with Tatum, a lot of people don't consider him as a superstar. He's a great number two, but he's not that guy.
Tatum needs help around him where Butler does not.
Yeah, Butler just like, give me it. I'm gonna win this game. Give me the damn basketball.
When the guys go down in Miami, when Tyler Hero and these guys go down in Miami, Butler's like, yeah, I got it.
Mystery Sauce, welcome to the show. By the way, I want to thank you for interacting with us on Twitter and Kat on YouTube there, but. Said, who are you guys rooting for to win the championship? I think the Nuggets are going to win it. I think Craig feels the same way. I picked
Denver and Boston to be in the finals, and I still think that's a possibility over 7 games. I think they outlast Miami, but I mean wrong. But I think right now nobody can. Joker is showing why he should have been the MVP.
Yeah.
While as Embiid has showed why he should not have been the
MVP. Jeff, who you got? Who do you think is going to win it? Who you want to win? Who are you rooting for?
I'd say like in terms of the final matchup, I definitely would see. I think that's going to be Nuggets Heat. I think that'd be pretty interesting. But I think that the Nuggets, they're good. I mean, and then you have I think it's the time. I think it's their time. I mean, this is a team that's never been to a finals. The organization is hungry for it. The fans are hungry for it. This is the best team they've had in forever. Even with Melo, even the days with Melo, I think that it wasn't this good.
Yeah.
So yeah, it just it seems right for them to be in it. It seems right for them to win the whole thing. And I think in the end, it seems like to me that the Nuggets are going to win this.
Yeah, I think
Miami
so.
gives them more trouble.
But the script leaked out, guys. So I mean, who knows? Lakers are supposed to win in 7.
Mystery Sauce says he's from Europe, so we all want Denver to win. Awesome. Well, yeah, I think Denver's would take it. Joker's just absolute beast. Murray's to go hand in hand with him, and the bench there, and me and Craig are Maverick fans, so Luka Doncic and I forget.
Oh no,
Jeff
am
is
too.
a Mavericks
Yeah,
fan too. I forgot. I forgot. My bad. Jeff
Yeah.
is a Mavericks fan too, so we like the European players.
Even though I'm here in Denver, but
yeah, it's kind of funny.
But I mean, I guess is it so? Is Denver now title town, or if they win, or what's going on?
I don't know about that.
I mean, what do you mean you don't know about that?
If they put it a couple, maybe they do it next year too. I don't think one championship makes title town.
Because it's interesting. No. I'm talking about hockey last year, Brian.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Follow along.
My bad. Yeah, my bad. Well, hell, if Denver, if the Nuggets, and then I think if the Nuggets win it, and then the Broncos cap it off, then we can officially say that Denver is title
I think
town.
this place would go absolutely nuts,
dude.
Yeah,
you wouldn't be able to leave your house. Like,
oh my god,
it would be like LA if the Lakers won, they would be flipping cars and burning. Yeah.
Oh no, I agree with. Yeah, I agree with Mystery Sauce there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the NBA is growing so much in Europe because of Luka, Giannis, Joker, and Wemby.
It is.
That's
awesome. I think European players are being taken a lot more seriously than they were, because even before, they were just not taken seriously. It was kind of considered a joke. Like,
when Ginobili got drafted, people are like, "Well, who is this guy?
Who is this guy?"
Yeah.
And the difference?
Even with Luka, it was like trash talk. Stephen A. Smith was trash talking.
Oh yeah.
There's all these YouTube videos of people just being like, "This guy's not going to do anything.
They called Jordan Winsey soft."
Yeah.
The difference between those players that come from overseas in Europe and stuff and our players is Luka started playing basketball when he played in a professional league when he's 15, 16 years old over there. They teach them the real game of basketball. Over here, it's I forget what they call it, but it's basically ISO basketball, where I'm gonna dribble around, do what I do, and that's what you see when you play with James Harden.
Yeah,
that's just straight up James Harden. It's not team basketball. So give me a European style all day long. I think it's fantastic, and I really like Giannis too, and Luka's a beach.
I like the
beast.
I like the European invasion of the NBA. I think bring more of it, because it's changing it. It's given a fresh look of the game. It's making the game more exciting, and obviously more people are watching.
Mystery Sauce says it's funny how Americans think these guys are soft, even though they come from the war-torn countries that aren't scared of nothing.
Yeah,
true. Can't argue with that. Cannot argue with that.
And it's a tough place to play. Like you take a look at some of those basketball games, and the fans are avid. Like it's like a soccer game. Yeah. It's like or football. It's like how they treat it the same way. I mean, they're there's YouTube reaction videos of some of the NBA or the basketball games over there, and people are like, like blown away. It looks. People are a lot more excited to watch basketball than in some of the regular season games here. Playoffs is different, but regular season people are just pretty much just there. So,
well, you said something a little bit ago on the episode, Jeff, about firing the Bucks coach. I wanted to talk about this because that's just so annoying. This guy got you a championship 2 years ago. And you go ahead and fire him. You got Nick Nurse up in Toronto who brought the only championship up there. You deplete the team. You can't sign Kawhi back, and then 2 years you cut him. Monte Williams for the Suns. The most winningest coach since 2000, I think it's 2021 or 2020, something like that. The most winningest coach, and you cut him. I mean, it's insane to me how fast the NBA teams are just dropping these coaches. You got a championship 2 years ago. Does that not mean anything? Does that not mean much anymore? I mean, it's crazy. I'll take any of those 3 guys to coach the Dallas Mavericks in a heartbeat. I'm not a big fan of Jason Kidd, but I'll take the other 2 or 3 of those coaches in Dallas in a heartbeat.
Who's going to get that coach is my question.
Somebody will.
Yeah.
Any of those 3 coaches, they're going to sign for him fast. Nick Nurse, when he coached Toronto, was supposed to be the next big thing and was supposed to go coach the Lakers and decided to stay in Toronto and sign a 5-year contract, and then you cut him 2 years later because you didn't give him enough help. What
You think the Mavericks go after one of these guys?
No,
because I think they would have had to fire Kidd already. If they were going to fire Jason Kidd, he would have already been done. So Kidd's your guy for next year.
Jason Kidd's saving grace was that he got the Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals last year with literally no help for Luka.
Well, Jason
That's
Kidd's
his saving
saving grace is Kyrie Irving loves him, so they think if they hold on to Jason Kidd, Kyrie Irving will resign. That's the only reason Jason Kidd has a job. Period.
Jason Kidd getting that far last year kind of won the fans over, but this year really looked like he didn't know what he was doing.
He lost the team. He quickly lost the team.
Yeah, he lost the team. He doesn't play his third best scorer. He doesn't. He refused to play his third best scorer in Wood. He doesn't know when to change lineups out. Like the fan base after 1 year was like, all right, this guy's got to go, but they're not going to get rid of him. Not this fast.
You think it's just because they like him personally, and
they like him. He's a future. He was a Maverick. Yeah. You know, he's probably close to Cuban. Luka probably likes him, being he's a point guard. Could be an answer to get Kyrie to come back.
True.
But on the coaching side of it, I'm like, what are we doing? Christian Wood's your third best scorer, and you got him on the bench.
Christian Wood played his last game of the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, he won't be here next year, and I'm like, it's insane because he doesn't play defense. Well, who plays defense in the NBA anymore? Nobody.
LeBron.
Mystery Sauce says, I respect you even more now for calling it football, Jeff, and not the forbidden S word. LOL.
Yeah.
So
look at Jeff Megan. Look at Jeff making European fans.
European fans. How do you think Wemby is going to do under Pop? Now, honestly, I'm going to be straight up honest with you, Mystery Sauce. I don't know really who Wemby is. I'm going to be honest. I don't. So don't kill me for that. But Popovich is great head coach.
He'll be fine as long as he stays healthy. The MO for guys, the tall guys, the big lanky guys like that.
Oh, is that the really tall?
Yes.
7 foot?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And the question is he going to be like Tim Duncan and stay healthy, or is he going to be like these guys that have come in the league and been injured their whole career and never play a game and can't keep the frame, you know, every time they land, you know, the frame doesn't hold up and he misses 40 games a year, 50 games a year. That's the question. If he continues to stay healthy, he's going to be the second coming. This is the most anticipated player. He is more anticipated than LeBron James when he came out of high school. This is in all team sports. This is the most anticipated deal. Pop had retirement papers handed onto the NBA's desk. I think he rescinded them the second they got the number 1 pick. Like he was ready to retire.
And if anybody could get him going, is Greg Popovich.
Oh yeah,
one of the best coaches
100%.
in the NBA. Yeah. So,
as a Maverick fan, I don't. As a person who doesn't like the Spurs, like I'm not going to deny that Greg Popovich is like one of the best coaches ever
of all time. I mean, there's no argument there. But
up there with Phil, up there with Phil.
With a jar, like a jar with a brain in it, and it's going to be
Here's the problem, though.
Pop coaching from the sidelines.
Yeah,
he's never going to retire.
No.
Here's the problem, though, with that. with the way the NBA is now, Greg Popovich is one of those coaches that's going to run the show.
His way or no way.
LeBron James don't want to play with him. A lot of those players nowadays, because the NBA, the players run the asylum. I mean, the players run it, right? It's the most player driven league in any sport. So who wants to go to a team who's going to be structured like that, be told what to do, have these strict rules because Popovich knows how to win? It's not like it used to be. So that's my only issue is getting guys to play around Wemby. Getting the team like that is going to be difficult with a head coach like Popovich, in my opinion.
Keep an eye on the old 00 from Portland.
I mean, I love me some. I can think of his face. What's his freaking name? You go.
Dame is
Dame time, baby.
Is looking. The second that pick got announced, he was like,
do you ever see him leave? He seems like he's so dedicated to Portland.
Portland immediately came out after he put on Twitter like he wanted to, like the little pop eye emojis, like he wanted to go over there, like some cryptic tweet. Portland immediately has said that they are willing to trade the number 3 pick in the thing to put a team around him. They are scared of him leaving.
Well, he's one of the most loyal guys in the NBA. He's had multiple times to leave and go, and I respect the guy that stays around.
Doesn't happen anymore.
It doesn't happen anymore.
I think a lot of the European guys will. I don't think the European guys are swayed by.
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't think so.
I think Luka's out in Dallas whenever the next shot he gets.
I doubt it. I just don't. They just don't. I mean,
Mark Cuban didn't give Dirk Nowitzki no help.
Look what happened with Giannis. A lot of people thought Giannis was out and he wasn't. Like, it's just, I don't think that.
Well, he might be because I don't think that the European
players. I think there's a lot more dedication there. Dirk never left. He could have left.
He was almost a Laker.
Yeah, almost.
For Kobe,
but he didn't. So I mean, So in terms of these European players, I do think that there's something there where it's the loyalty, even Luka, like I still look at it like he looks so highly to Dirk Nowitzki and what Dirk did in Dallas, all those years of just getting just railroaded in sports media. He can't do anything in the playoffs. He's just a season guy, like could never step up in the big games, never really clutch when it counts, all that stuff. And he won a championship after all that. And that was all he wanted to do. And so I think, and the fact that he stayed, it says a lot. So I think, that sticks around. And I think especially for Luka, I just think that he looks at that highly. That is a mentor of his that he still is very close with now. And I just don't think there's a whole lot of anything that is going to sway him. That's the same with Giannis. I think Giannis stays there. I think Joker stays put. It doesn't matter if let's say they go to the finals and the Nuggets lose. I don't think Joker's going to go anywhere. I think he's going to always stay here.
Giannis might stay. I can see him staying. Joker probably stays. Luka to me is a little different. Luka over in Europe was used to playing for what would be equivalent to the LA type of team. They're successful. They're talked about all the time. He comes over here. It's not that here in Dallas. They don't get guys to come play with him. There's not one free agent that says, hey, let me sign up to go play for Mark Cuban. I have a big problem with Mark Cuban. I don't like the guy. I don't like the way he runs teams. He doesn't get Luka Doncic any help. He still can't get Luka Doncic any help. Yeah, he got Kyrie. Can we keep him? Is that going to be enough? Luka talked about being unhappy this season. He talked about being frustrated and unhappy playing basketball. I'm not sold that Luka's going to be here longer than his next contract. I hope I'm wrong. But Mark Cuban, to me, the rumors have been that this is his last summer to kind of get somebody to come in here and show that he can put a team around him. Because I'm not sold on it. And Mystery Sauce says Luca played for the biggest sporting franchise on the planet, Real Madrid. At the same time, Ronaldo was there. I could see Luca leaving too. And that's the only reason I say it. He comes from wanting that spotlight on the big stage, and I don't think he's going to get it here in Dallas. I hope he stays, but I just don't know with him. That's my worry. You got any input on that, on Craig? Whether he stays, whether he goes, and
Mavericks have always had trouble getting help. I mean, anywhere. Like they go to sign free agents and they get guys to agree to deals, and then they go lock themselves in their house for 4 days and go back and change teams. Like things happen to the Mavericks that don't happen to anybody else. Like even when they get guys to agree to contracts, they back out of them. So like I don't know what the allure is. I mean, Dallas is a big city.
Yeah.
Correct
but
me
not,
if I'm wrong.
you know,
Isn't Dallas a big city?
No.
It is.
It's a big city. It's a big city, but it's
not
a
big
it's
market.
Not Miami.
It's a city of size, right?
Yes.
And has a lot of people. But this isn't Los Angeles.
No.
This isn't New York. There's not a big market like
it's
that.
It's not drawn like that, where people will move there because it's got the beach and it's got all this stuff.
The biggest team in the entire area is the Cowboys. Period. I mean, you know, I know you have you have people that are Maverick fans, and you know, and you have people that are Ranger fans and Stars fans. When the Stars are in the playoffs, you know, I think that's when everybody wakes up. But you know, it's just when it comes to actual sports, there is nothing that the people of Dallas or the Metroplex care about at all, but the Cowboys.
We are a football.
Period.
We are a football town.
I saw the Mavericks championship parade, and it looked pitiful.
Like a high school parade.
It was pitiful, the amount of non-people. There was no one there. The Mavericks won a championship. Dirk won a championship, and you would think that it was some regular whatever, you know, high school parade that came around because no one cared. No one was there. There were more people lining up the streets when the Avs won last year than there were when the Mavericks won the championship. That's how much people care.
Yeah. And you're not wrong. I mean, you're not wrong at all. And then that's a big part of it, Mystery Sauce there. And it is that Texas is a football town. And football is my favorite. I'm not a Cowboys fan, but football is my favorite sport. And we could talk about football in here all day, but,
so if you want to know, you know, why it's a big city, but it's not a big market.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not a big market for basketball.
Honestly, I think Mark Cuban, there's a lot of players that don't want to play for Mark Cuban. He's a little bit outspoken. He comes out and says some things sometimes, and you're going, wow, that's probably not good for business. I mean,
he drank the Jerry Kool-Aid.
So, but all right, well, so the Suns part ways with their head coach. The Bucks part ways with their head coach. The Raptors part ways with their head coach. There's a lot of openings going on in the NBA, and a lot of coaches going to be on the move. One more thing we got to talk about in the NBA before we bounce is Ja Morant. What an idiot this guy is. All the talent in the world. He shows up and in college, he was a great basketball player, shows up, and I was like, man, this guy's a dog. He's just dunking on people. And then he's pointing guns at everybody. I don't know what's going on with that. He wants to be a hardcore gangster. I don't know what. I don't know what he wants to be. But what a moron. You have all the talent in the world, and you want to throw your career away. That the NBA is rumored to be suspending him for 40 games next year. That is the Grizzlies season. Done, over with, end of discussion. This is the guy's team. And you put Memphis Grizzlies in between the rock and a hard place, and you might as well enter the Grizzlies because he's the best player you've ever had show up on your roster ever. And now they're going, what are we going to do with him? We can't we're not going to trade the best player we've ever seen. But if he can't,
$252 million.
Yeah. $252 million guaranteed coming your way if you stop being a moron and you want to throw your career away. It's stupid. Straight up stupid.
You dodged a bullet the last time, and to try it again, thinking, hey, what are they gonna do? Come on, man.
Basically, he just went on there and instead of the gun being waved in the thing, it was his middle finger at the commissioner. Ha ha ha! You can't do anything. The commissioner now has no choice to make this a bold statement.
Yeah.
And say, yeah, I can, and I'm going to, because if he doesn't, all these guys will just continue to run over him.
Mystery Sauce's jaw is would never last in Europe, and it's a disgrace to the sport, in my opinion.
I mean, just he wants to be. He's choosing the wrong guys to hang out with. He's got this one guy that continues to be there and continues to be the part of the problem, and click it's that guy's Instagram live or whatever it is. You got the he's in a pickup game of basketball with some kid in the neighborhood, and
apparently, didn't he punch him?
Well, he did something, fouled him.
I
don't know, somehow. But Ja goes inside and comes back out with a gun in his waistband, and he's like, "My court, my rules." Okay.
What kind of basketball are we playing here?
Yeah. So, I mean, and so what tells me is all these things that the Memphis police swept under the rug.
Oh, yeah.
That you heard were possibly true that became not true.
Because he's a star.
I know, but what I'm saying
like
is
Baylor all over here.
All these things are now, to me, that happened. Like, that all happened. Where he pulls the gun in the waistband, where there was some kid fired across the street and it came from Ja's house. Well, I guess that probably happened now. All these things that he got off on, they're going to all reopen because of what he's doing. He's just drawing attention to himself.
If this is any other sport, they're cracking down way before.
Oh, immediately.
Oh,
that's what I said.
That's
NBA,
my question. This is bad on the NBA too.
They run the ship. The commissioner's afraid of these guys because they run the ship, basically. But it's insane to me. I just don't. If I had $255 million coming my way, I'm not doing anything that's this stupid. I'm training and living and eating basketball for the rest of my career. I mean, I don't know. I don't know, but
get to training, Brian.
Get to training. Yeah, a little too late for that. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be the NBA talk, NBA playoffs for us. Thanks for Mystery Sauce for chiming in there. Stick around for a hockey segment.
That could be. I mean, honestly, that could be with any sport.
You just left us.
I mean,
you just left us with a good one. Before we end the NBA, this is kind of a good one. Do you think that the NBA and America athletes get too much money and fame too early? They don't work hard for it. Good question. I think that could happen in any sport. Once you get that big paycheck, I mean, nature. I think it's human nature to not work. Once you get that big paycheck, that human nature is to kind of not. You don't work as hard. You don't stay in the gym as long. You don't work as hard.
Bryant.
Or unless you're Kobe, unless you're that special Kobe or Jordan or a Derek Jeter or somebody like that wants to be. They're not satisfied with being great. They want to be the best that's ever been. And
you have like a Derek Jeter versus an Alex Rodriguez. Alex Rodriguez gets his money, doesn't care.
We
get
steroids,
whatever.
Apologizes, takes more steroids.
Derek Jeter argued, got his contract paid, and then continued to produce the way he played. Never complained. Played every day he could play. So it just you have players that just it depends on the player, and it can happen anywhere. I think
there's honestly. No question in every sport, all the athletes get paid way too much money. That's that stands down. But all right, let's jump over to the NHL playoffs real quick here. Thanks, Mystery Sauce, again. Appreciate you. Stick around for the NHL segment. now Craig is probably our NHL expert on the show. We
Oh yeah. Let's not forget that your time zones.
Yeah. Well, it's a pleasure speaking to you guys. Big fan of the content. He's going to bed because it's 1 a.m. Well, thanks for staying up with us. Have good dreams there. And we're on every Friday night, so feel free to jump back on.
Let's also thank the
or Saturday morning.
The 6 people that are also on here.
Yeah,
it's
we've been seeing the numbers go up, so that's just fantastic. And thank you guys for watching us live, and then also our podcast as well. So, all right, NHL playoffs are here, and Craig's the NHL expert on the show. I got back into hockey last year in the playoffs for both Stars fans. Jeff, are you a Colorado fan?
I haven't watched hockey in a long time.
Fan. Growing up, you were a
roughly a Red Wing fan if I'm a fan of anything, I guess. But that's loose.
The Stars took Game 7 last week with 2 beautiful goals. They had one. Well, Craig, you describe it. You're better at this than I am. The 2 goals are just wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very, very Game 7-ish defensive matchup, and Jamie Olesnik tries to come through center ice and be lackadaisical, and Rupe just picks his pocket, and instead of clearing the puck and trying to make a change, Olenek tries to make a play himself, gets pickpocketed, and Rupe goes and roofs one, and then Beautiful. In the end of the game, they basically, I don't know if Dadonov saw Wyatt or not, but he basically is clearing the puck and sends it all the way the length of the ice. Well, the icing gets waved off because Dallas gets to the puck first, because Wyatt's down at the other end of the trapezoid, down and waiting on the puck. The puck goes off the wall, comes back to Wyatt Johnson, and he goes, instead of going back to center and coming in, he goes straight down the trapezoid line and just roofs it right off the shoulder, off the helmet, off the mask of the goalie, and up into the roof of the net, and it's over. This kid is 20 years old. He just turned 20 on Mother's Day.
Yeah, he's 19.
And
insane.
Has both goals to send the Stars to the next round. It's unheard of. And this kid was living in a hotel room for the first month of the season because he didn't know if he was going to make the roster or have to go back to the rookie league and play another season in the rookie league. And now he's living in the house with Joe Pavelski and his family, and is the biggest star in the NHL and carried his team to 2 major playoff wins. The kid he's going to be an amazing, amazing, amazing addition to this team. I wanted him to sign him. I kept being an advocate of this kid the day he showed up, and it's absolutely, he's not going to win Rookie of the Year. The Rookie of the Year is going to be the kid from Seattle. But he should be in the discussion because he's amazing. You got 4 teams left. And last night is the
thriller.
Absolute what you're going to see for the next 2 weeks is brutal hockey down to the last minute. The 6th longest game in the NHL history. 4 overtimes. There's talk that the guys were eating pizza and smashing Red Bulls in between intermissions because they didn't have anything left in the tank. How either one of these goalies can move today is beyond me. But that is what you're going to get in both series, is down to the last shot, down to the last deal, low scoring, beat up, brutal hockey, and I love it.
Who's going to blink? Who's going to blink first? Is the question.
Absolutely. You got the 8th seed in the Panthers, and like I was talking about in basketball, when you have a team like this that is fighting to get their way in, they were in playoff mode 2 weeks before everybody else. They couldn't lose any games. They had to hope that Pittsburgh didn't beat 2 teams that were terrible. If Pittsburgh would have won any points the last 2 games, this historic run by the Panthers doesn't happen because they're not in. So they had to get help from Pittsburgh losing, and they had to win for a week going in. Their goalie loses 20 pounds the other night
20 pounds in one game. Absolutely crazy.
And I'm sure he came close last night to that in 4 overtimes. Matthew Tkachuk somehow seconds before a 5th overtime starts, goes and scores a goal and ends this deal. Started at 7:30 last night, and at 1:45 this morning was still going.
Well, get ready tonight, guys.
No, sir. We have to work in the morning. We do not have time for that. We needed a regulation hockey game, please.
Yes. We're going to watch it after the show's over. It starts in 20 minutes or so.
Or else I'm going to have to sleep in my truck at the yard because
you wake up and go to work and it's like still going. You're going, God.
It almost happened this morning. I was watching this last night and I woke up and it was just ended. This is playoff hockey. And I normally follow Dallas, but this year I broadened it to try to follow everything. And I thought Boston had a great season, but I always saw that it wouldn't really carry the way they played all season. Wasn't really playoff type, grinded out hockey. And they got exposed by a good goalie. The hot goaltender if you have a goaltender who gets hot in April and hot in May, that's the team. The Colorado goalie last year is a prime example. This guy got hot in the end of the year, and carried that team to deal. He almost carried Seattle to this year. It's the bottom line is it's
who's got the best goalie out of the 4 teams right now? No bias.
No, Ottinger's had a terrible playoff. Probably Borowski because in Florida because the main goaltender in Vegas is hurt. They're playing with a backup goaltender. Which that's insane itself that this guy comes off the bench and in the middle of a game and shuts out Edmonton in that game and then beats them 2 more games. And they have the Trout and Ohtani of hockey. So that being honest is probably Borowski is probably the best goaltender left. And it shows.
Yeah, Brian.
No, Ottinger.
Brian just glitched out.
Ottinger's had 2 games where he's gotten pulled in the middle of the game. We were at the game 1 of the series against Seattle, and they scored 5 goals. Like we went to go get a beer. They scored 5 goals in a minute and a half. He has not looked great. He has the potential to be great, but right now he's not playing his best hockey, but it's because the defense of Dallas is not playing in front of him. The 2 games that he got pulled, they had free reign. Me and Brian were talking about it. I kept texting Brian going, they're the odd man rushes that he's facing. 3-on-2, 3-on-1, 3-on-1. The goalie can't stop that. 90% of the time in the NHL, the goalie's not stopping the 3-on-1. Like, it's not going to happen. So in the games that they won, he only had to face 22 shots, the forechecking, keeping the puck out of the zone. That's all. You have to watch that. The time in the zone is huge because the more time it's in there, the more chances deal. Where the Stars have 4 lines, that's team hockey. Where they're going to win the series is the power play. If the power play's
been great.
It has been. It fell off at the end of the Seattle series, and that's why it went 7 games, is because they did not capitalize against a team like Vegas. Vegas is the same as Seattle, but they're bigger, they're faster, and they're stronger. And so you're going to have to be physical with this team. And if Dallas doesn't get physical, this is going to be a short series. But I think both series go 6 or 7 games. Carolina is a really, really good hockey team. On paper, they're the best team. As you can tell from the first 2 series, Florida doesn't give 0 cares in the world about that. They got the Toronto GM fired today. The Maple Leafs GM got fired today. I mean,
two vacancies open in Toronto.
Florida's taking names. If I'm the guy in Carolina,
watch out, Blue Jays
job
manager. You better do good this year. You're on
I don't want
you're
my
on the
job on the line because of deal. So no, it's gonna be it's very, very good hockey left. Teams that are deep, and you should have two very good, very long series.
All right. Well, it's almost time for the Stars game. We were kind of wanting to watch that. So Jim Brown passes away in the NFL. He got some sad news. Passed away on Thursday night. He was a legend, one of the best running backs to ever play in the game of football. I didn't get to see him, so I don't know any great stories to tell you. But it's sad when legends die, and sad day for the NFL. But people will remember him and talk about him tonight. Those games that they saw him play, kind of reminisce on watching a freight train of a running back. I know he played hard, and we've seen highlights of him just barreling over people.
People should just, definitely go out and take a look at some of the clips, some of the highlights of his career and tributes and stuff people will have out there on YouTube. So that way you can kind of, if you weren't around, you can kind of see why he was so good. So that's what if there's somebody I don't know, it's exactly what I do, because I want to see, I wasn't, I couldn't watch it on television or anything at the time. So
that's watch up the hype of it.
Right. That's a way to get a good idea of how great he was. So,
all right, guys. Well, it's that portion of the show where we ask the wonderful question of what's in your locker, and we'll start with Craig. What's in your locker, Craig, for this weekend?
Don't have anything. It's been a very, very long 2 weeks. And I think I'm just going to take the weekend and not do anything. We have graduation next weekend. So that weekend will be full to the brim of Saturday graduation and Sunday graduation party. So I think this weekend it's just going to be watch three real good hockey games. The Stars tonight and Sunday afternoon, and then we will watch the game 2 of the marathon series over there in Carolina tomorrow night. But no, it's just going to be unwind and just really kind of reset after a long 2 weeks.
My turn. So just trying to get a new branding thing going on with this and working on a few more things. I got to kind of get on with Brian and kind of show him how everything works. And then baseball, just kind of, watching some. Yankees are kind of slowed out the gate, which is pretty normal. Last year was kind of an anomaly. They were fast out the gate, but just Aaron Judge hit another home run. He just keeps hitting home runs like crazy. So watching that, did watch the Laker game, most of it. I thought the second quarter and then towards the end. So really just watching that because it's a team here, which is kind of interesting. So I'm kind of, seeing, it'd be interesting to see a team, another championship here and how the fans will react to that. So, but I will say this much, the fans here kind of support everything. I think they come out no matter what. So I think if the Nuggets win, this place is going to be packed full of people, especially downtown for the parade and all that stuff. So, yeah, I just moved, obviously, got a new setup here. So, but, kind of got through all the headache of that, which is horrible. I can't stand moving. But other than that, yeah, just watched some baseball, kind of excited. I don't get too hyped up before football season or anything like that, but I'm kind of actually excited because Sean Payton mentioned that first preseason game, everyone's playing. which is kind of interesting. So I don't think that's ever happened before with the Broncos. I don't think they've ever had starters play like that, like especially the first preseason game. So that's interesting. Kind of want to see what the Mavericks do with this 10th round, or was it 10th pick? Pick 10 in the first round. So I kind of want to see what they do with that. If they trade it, what does that mean? So yeah, other than that, that's what's in my locker. Then I'm playing MLB The Show. Brian and I played last weekend. So, and I beat him pretty badly, but, and that's it. That's all that's in my locker.
Yeah, thanks for adding that very badly in there. I really appreciate that. Well, it's funny because I usually beat Craig pretty badly, and I play you, and Aaron Judge makes contact with the ball, and it's over the wall every time. So, my weekend is going to consist of a truck rodeo tomorrow. I'm going out to a truck rodeo, for you that may not know, is they get drivers from all around our district. We're the North Texas district for our job, and for Waste Connections, I'm wearing my polo today. They compete in a truck rodeo. They got to do a driving test, and whoever wins that goes to Florida. First of all, if they win it, they get a $4,000 check, and then they go to Florida to compete in the national truck rodeo. A lot of trucking companies do this. This is my first time going. We got to be there. I got to be there at 7 a.m. tomorrow, and the place is an hour and 20 minutes away from my house. So got to get up early for that. But it'll be fun. They're going to have food trucks, bounce houses for the kids, and stuff like that. So it's going to be a good time. And then tomorrow night, I'm going to watch the Stars game tonight. And then Sunday, we have some family coming over to the house. My brother-in-law is running a triathlon. Actually, two brother-in-laws running a triathlon in Fort Worth, and then they're going to come over afterwards and kind of hang out and eat some food. But the next week, I'm off of work, but I'm not off of work type thing. I got some Smith System training. I'll be out of the office, and I'll be working a normal 8 to 5 shift next week, which is going to be kind of interesting, but nice at the same time. So that's all I got for what's in my locker, guys. Thanks for sharing what you guys are doing for the weekend. Jeff, hopefully you've got settled in enough. I hate moving. It's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, moving and then getting furniture in here and all that stuff. So
he didn't have his boxes stacked up for the show mascot to.
Yeah. Oh my
We have
god.
no show mascot.
See, the weird part is I have a Brett Hull hockey stick signed. I have a basketball signed by I think Dirk. And then so I got to pull that stuff up, and I have some thing that Brian gave me, and I got to put that in a frame. So there's a few other things that I got to put around in here, but yeah, I want to get the little prong things for the stick, for the hockey stick, so I can like.
I need to do that here in the man cave in the garage. I have a big photo of Lambeau Field, and I got this pretty awesome thing on vacation. I put that up in the background, and
it's backwards.
Don't
got
rush.
ripped off. It's backwards.
Don't rush.
Don't rush all that.
Yeah, don't rush.
I got my hat collection in the background here, and Rangers.
Yeah,
and
that's
Dallas
fine.
But all right, guys. Well, I had some camera issues earlier, so I bounced. My stuff's in the garage. I'm probably gonna start taking it in. I don't know if that's gonna affect the heat's gonna affect it, but
so far good. I mean, it was just that one
little thing.
hiccup. Yeah.
I'm worried more about the heat affecting my computer, but that's the little small square one I can just unplug and take in. But
yeah.
Anyways. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening to the show. We do this every Friday, and during the NFL, we're on Tuesdays and Fridays. We probably need to change that Tuesdays and Fridays down there, but
we probably will.
We're going to a new setup in a couple weeks, but it's going to be the still the same guys, still the same content. We have a new intro video, which is pretty sick. So we're going to come up with all this stuff, but we will continue to do episodes on Friday. Listen to us on our podcast as well if you can't watch us live. We are growing the show. Our numbers are getting better. We have more people watching live and listening. So we want to say thank you to all those that take time out of your busy days to do so.
And guys, everybody just follow, click the little thumbs up, any of the normal stuff, the normal
The normal
hullabaloo
ask, yeah.
that
Follow,
everybody asks.
subscribe, blah, 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 all
You
that
know,
good stuff.
obviously everybody's not, you know, insane. They know how to do it. So it's just like, I think if you could do that, definitely download it. Just go to, you know, type in the podcast in any of your services, download any the episodes. It helps us out, and that way we can continue to
The
chug along
download
and
definitely
bring-
increased last month.
Yeah, so that I think it's a lot. Anybody who's done that, thanks a lot. Brian's been doing a bunch of stuff in the back end of, you know, getting more content out. So appreciate that too. So
We're trying to grow it. We're on every social media platform, TikTok. We are on all your podcast platforms. And if you ever want to comment on the show, as you saw on this episode, we will read you out, talk to you, and give you discussions as long as it's appropriate. Go on to YouTube or Twitch. That's the first time that Twitch has actually worked where we got comments from Twitch. So you can find us on Twitch and YouTube live if you want to check that out. But thank you guys so much for watching and listening to the show. We appreciate it. God bless, and remember,
Keep it outspoken.
keep it outspoken.